Have you ever wondered how a single moment can completely change the history of basketball? Most fans know the champions, the records, and the legendary highlights, but very few know about the hidden stories that happened behind the scenes. Stories that were never supposed to matter. Stories that looked insignificant at the time but ended up changing everything. Imagine a young basketball player standing alone in an empty gym late at night. The lights are dim, the seats are empty, and nobody is watching.
No cameras. No reporters.
No fans. Just a player with a dream that almost nobody believes in. Coaches have doubts. Scouts are not impressed. Critics say he will never be good enough. The odds are stacked against him from the very beginning. Now imagine that same player years later standing under the brightest lights in the world. Thousands of fans are chanting his name. Millions are watching on television. His jersey is one of the best-selling jerseys on the planet. People call him a legend. Children try to copy his moves on courts across the globe. The question is simple. What happened between those two moments? The answer is something most people never think about. It wasn't just talent. It wasn't just hard work. It wasn't just luck. It was one decision. One tiny decision that almost never happened. Basketball history is filled with moments like this. A coach choosing one player over another. A team making a trade at the last second. A scout deciding to attend one game instead of another. These moments seem small when they happen, but years later they become legendary. Think about it. What if your favorite player had never been discovered? What if a team had decided not to draft a future superstar? What if an injury had changed someone's career forever? The entire basketball world could look completely different today. There are stories hidden in the shadows of the game that sound almost impossible to believe. Players who were rejected multiple times before becoming champions. Athletes who were considered too short, too weak, too slow, or simply not talented enough. Yet somehow they proved everyone wrong. One of the most fascinating things about basketball is that greatness often begins with failure. Before the trophies come the disappointments. Before the victories come the losses. Before the fame comes the struggle. Picture a young athlete hearing the words nobody wants to hear. You're not good enough. For many people, those words would be the end of the story. For future legends, those words become the beginning. Every missed shot becomes motivation. Every rejection becomes fuel. Every setback becomes another reason to keep going. What makes these stories mysterious is that nobody can predict who will succeed. Experts analyze statistics. Scouts watch games. Coaches evaluate skills. Yet year after year, basketball proves that nobody truly knows what the future holds. Some of the greatest players in history entered the league with massive expectations and never lived up to the hype. Others arrived with almost no attention and shocked the world. Why does that happen? What separates the good from the great? The answer remains one of the biggest mysteries in sports. Some say it's mindset. Others say it's work ethic. Some believe it's confidence. Others believe it's destiny. Maybe it's a combination of all those things. Or maybe there's something deeper that nobody fully understands. Consider this. Every season begins with hundreds of players chasing the same dream. They train for countless hours. They sacrifice their free time. They push their bodies to the limit. Yet only a few rise above the rest. What do they know that others don't? What secret gives them the edge? What invisible factor changes their path? These questions have fascinated basketball fans for generations. And the more you look into the game, the stranger the stories become. There are tales of players who were overlooked because of their size. Stories of athletes who nearly quit before experiencing success. Stories of future stars who sat on the bench while less talented players received all the attention. At the time, nobody knew they were witnessing history. That's the incredible thing about legendary moments. They don't look legendary when they're happening. A future icon is just another player. A future champion is just another prospect. A future dynasty is just another team trying to win games. The magic only becomes visible when we look back. Imagine having the ability to travel through time and watch the early careers of basketball legends. Would you recognize them immediately? Would you know they were destined for greatness? The truth is, most people wouldn't. Because greatness often hides in plain sight. It develops quietly. It grows slowly. And then one day, it explodes onto the world stage. That's when everyone starts asking the same question. How did we not see this coming?